not forget who we are. Go Uni Radio.
All right, good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Core City right here on 106.9 FM, Going the Radio, the heartbeat of dialogue, and hope you're having a good time wherever you found yourself. Today is Tuesday, the 17th of March, 2026, and of course, I sincerely apologize for starting 40 minutes behind schedule. Oh, I say 40 minutes actually. Apologies for starting 10 minutes behind schedule, right? And of course, it's 20 minutes to the hour of 8, and of course, this is not exactly the time we're supposed to start, but then due to technical issues, we are starting behind schedule. But meanwhile, we are here, and of course, it is time for us to make you feel good this beautiful Tuesday morning. How are you? And what exactly are you up to? What exactly are you doing today? Well, all you need to do is, yes, you've woken up and perhaps you're preparing to leave the house, or you must have left the house. But the most important thing is for you to be grateful for being alive today, to be grateful for at least having the strength and the energy, and as well as the temerity to keep pushing for what you believe in and for what you want to attain this month. Remember, the week is still fresh and you have all it takes to make it work out for you. All right, so right here on Good Morning Core City, we are going to do it as we always do it before. My name is Chike, but remember you can always call me Chike, and of course I'm your pilot this beautiful morning. Again, apologies for not having Esther in the studio. Well, she's gonna be returning by next week to join the Good Morning Core City train. So right about now, I will tell you what you're supposed to feel this morning. And of course, this is what Esther is supposed to be doing for you. But then I've got to stand in and tell you how you're supposed to feel this morning. Things that you need to internalize as you go about your day. And afterwards, we're going to short break. And when we come back, we'll look through our top stories for today. We have a lot in store for you today. So stick around and let's at least look through what you are supposed to feel today when in our Tuesday morning motivation. All right, remember today is Tuesday, but then it's not just another day, and but another chance, of course, another chance to rise, another chance to try again, and another chance to move one step closer to the life you've been dreaming about. So, because the truth is, dreams don't respond to wishes. That's one thing you need to internalize this morning. Of course, I bet you must have heard this over and over and over, but I need to remind you this morning that dreams don't respond to wishes, they respond to action. And today is calling you to act. You may feel tired, you may feel uncertain, you may even feel like you are not making progress, but progress is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it is simply the decision to not give up. And that is one thing you need to bear in mind this morning. Sometimes that progress is actually a simple decision never to give up. And that decision, that quiet, stubborn determination is what separates those who wish from those who become. So today, don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for motivation to find you. So be the one who shows up anyway. Show up with your ideas, show up with your efforts, show up even with your doubts, but show up. Because every small action you take today is a seed. And seeds don't grow overnight, but they do grow. And you need to understand that seeds don't just grow overnight, but they do grow. And one day, what feels like effort will become ease. What feels like struggle will become strength. And what feels like uncertainty will become clarity. But only if you keep going. So let today mean something. Today is Tuesday, the 17th of February of March 2026. So let today mean something. Let this Tuesday be remembered as the day you refused to settle. the day you chose discipline over excuses, the day you believed just enough to keep moving. Your dream is not far away. It is built daily in moments like this. So go out there today and pursue it with everything you've got. And that is the charge we're giving you this beautiful Tuesday morning. Go out there and pursue it with everything you've got, because you've got it all in you to make the difference. All right. I hope you internalize this. I hope you understand this, and I hope you know that you are so powerful. Like, you are so powerful to make it happen for yourself, and then for your family, for your folks, for people looking up to you, because there are so many people looking up to you who wants you to become something they could be proud of, and something you too will be proud of. And this morning, we always want, every single day here, we want you to be proud of yourself, but you can't be proud of yourself when you're not showing up. You can't be proud of yourself when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And you can't be proud of yourself when you are not being, persistent with what you're supposed to do. But then, yeah, go out there and make it happen. This is Good Morning Call City right here on 106.9 FM Go Uni Radio. My name is Chike, and of course you can join us live on YouTube at GOU Radio 106.9 FM, and on Facebook at 106.9 Go Uni Radio. And certainly go there, drop your comments and react to what you just heard this morning. And of course, we're going to go on a short musical break, and when we come back, we will look through our top 10 stories for today. Don't touch the dial. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The urban evolution begins here.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Godfrey Okoye University Radio.
Blazing every street corner and block. The urban evolution. Mixing the widest variety of your favorite music.
They call me.
Go Uni Radio.
106.9.
This is urban evolution.
Tunesloaded.com.
Everybody get up. Woo! Okay. Dance, dance, dance. Shake your body. Afro culture. Everybody get up. Woo! One day.
iTunesLoaded.com.
The urban evolution begins here.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Godfrey Okoye University Radio.
Lazy. Every street corner and block. The urban evolution. Mixing the widest variety of your favorite music.
Say, call me.
Go Uni Radio.
106.9.
This is urban evolution.
All right, welcome back, and this is still Good Morning Course. It's right here on 106.9 FM Go Unit Radio, the heartbeat of dialogue. My name still remains Chike, and of course, you can join us live on YouTube at GOU Radio 106.9 FM and on Facebook at 106.9 Go Unit Radio. And this is time for us to look through our top 10 stories for today. And we're beginning with the first story this morning. We have this very first quite disheartening story. Food inflation hits 12.12% as input costs soar. All right, the story has it that Nigeria's food inflation rate rose to 12.12% year on year in February 2026, reversing the single-digit level recorded in January and signaling renewed pressure on household food costs. Data from the Consumer Price Index report released by the National Bureau of Statistics on Monday showed that the indicator increased from 8.89% in January 2026 to 12.12% in February, representing a rise of 3.23 percentage points. The February figure pushed food inflation back into double-digit territory after January's sharp slowdown, which had marked the first single-digit reading in more than a decade. Despite the increase from the previous month, the latest figure remains significantly lower than the level recorded a year earlier. According to the NBS report, the food inflation rate in February 2026 was 12.12% on a year-on-year basis. This was 14.86 percentage points lower compared to the rate recorded in February 2025, which is 26.98%. On a month-on-month basis, food prices rose by 4.69% in February, reflecting a resurgence in short-term price pressures across food markets. The Statistics Office attributed the increase to rising prices of several staple items across the country. The report stated that the surge was attributed to the rate of increase in the average prices of beans, carrots, okaza leaf, cassava tuber, crayfish, millet flour, yam flour, snails, avenger, that's ogbono and epon, and dried ungrounded ogbono and epon, and of course cowpeas, etc. And farmers explained that the high cost of inputs drove the rise in the prices of real food, as they called for intervention from the government to curb the spike in food prices across the country. While the monthly rebound suggests volatility in food markets, longer-term indicators point to a substantial easing in food price growth, compared with the previous year. The NBS said the average annual rate of food inflation for the 12 months ending February 2026 stood at 19.08%, representing a sharp drop from 37.40% recorded in February 2025. And that's quite a disheartening while in the country at the moment. And then we just hope that something is done about it, because of course there's a lot of high. When you go to the market, you realize that the high cost of food items is above the roof already. All right, moving forward on our top stories this morning, we have this other story. Nigeria records $96 billion crypto transactions. That's according to the Security and Exchange Commission (SEC). All right, the story has it that Nigeria's digital finance ecosystem recorded about $96 billion in cryptocurrency and other virtual asset transactions. The Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Emomotimi Agama, has disclosed. Agama revealed this during a citizens and stakeholders engagement session organized by the Federal Ministry of Finance in Abuja on Monday, stressing that the scale of activity in the digital asset market makes it necessary for regulators to place the sector under stronger oversight. As we speak today, it is a known fact from research and statistics that the virtual asset service providers and indeed the digital space cryptocurrency operation is within the range of $96 billion in transaction flow in Nigeria, and that is important for us to manage, he said. According to him, the regulatory framework governing the space has been reinforced with the enactment of the Investment and Securities Act 2025, which gives the Commission powers to regulate digital assets and other emerging financial technologies. He explained that the legislation also reaffirmed the SEC as the apex regulator of the Nigerian capital market, while introducing provisions aimed at monitoring systemic risks and aligning the country's market operations with global standards. Agama stated that the capital market has continued to support investment across key sectors of the economy, noting that the Commission approved about 3.68 trillion naira worth of new capital market issues in 2024, covering both equity and fixed income instruments. He added that the market also played a major role in strengthening the banking sector during the recent recapitalization exercise, with more than 31 banks raising funds through the capital market to meet new capital requirements. All right, that's quite an insightful one, knowing that the country is a growing hub for virtual currency transactions. All right, moving on to our next story this morning, we have protesters demand students expulsion after bullying incident in Edo. The story has it that protesters under the aegis of concerned citizens on Monday stormed a Benediction Education Center in Benin City to express outrage over a bullying incident involving some students of the school. The protest followed viral videos showing a student being beaten, flogged, and kicked by some supposed senior students within the school premises. However, security was beefed up around the school to prevent the protesters from gaining entry into the premises. When newsmen visited the school, personnel of the Department of State Services were stationed at the gate, screening visitors before allowing them into the compound. The protesters said they were at the school to demand the expulsion of all students identified in the viral video. One of the protesters said, "We want to know the status of the other students involved and how the school has investigated the issue." What happened in this school is unacceptable in our society, and we must all rise to condemn it. The demonstrators carried out placards with various inscriptions and temporarily blocked the entrance gate to the school. Some staff members were seen trying to calm the protesters, explaining that the students involved had already been suspended. A top management official of the school, who spoke on condition of anonymity, described the incident as unfortunate and assured the protesters that the management had taken necessary steps to address it. And of course, why protest? Because they need to feel that actually the school management is taking the ideal step to address it. Because what went viral online was certainly unacceptable, and everybody should rise up to its condemnation. All right, Still on our top stories this morning on Good Morning Core City, we have the story Japa. Doctors' mass migration worsens Nigeria's health crisis. Minister. All right, the story has it that Nigeria is currently grappling with a worsening health workforce crisis as the mass migration of medical professionals continues to strain the country's fragile healthcare system. The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Isiaq Salako, has said. Salako raised the alarm on Monday while delivering a keynote address at the 2026 United Kingdom Global Health Summit held at the Royal College of Physicians in London. The minister said the exodus of Nigerian health workers, popularly referred to as JAPA, had intensified manpower shortages and placed enormous pressure on the country's already overstretched health system. According to a copy of his speech made available to newsmen in Abuja, Salako noted that Nigeria currently has about 4 doctors per 10,000 people, quite unfortunate, far below the benchmark recommended by the World Health Organization, which suggests a minimum of 10 physicians per 10,000 population. Salako said the global health workforce crisis is not a future threat, but a present emergency. Africa carries more than a quarter of the global disease burden, but commands less than 3% of the global health workforce. He added that the situation was particularly acute in Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, where the shortage of doctors, nurses, midwives, and other health professionals had reached alarming levels. The minister disclosed that migration of healthcare professionals has significantly worsened the country's manpower deficit. And this is quite disheartening. There's one thing he said that is quite touching. He said every doctor who leaves Nigeria represents a substantial flight of invested public resources, often exceeding $200,000 in training costs. And of course, it's not just about complaining, it's about doing the needful. Looking at the welfare system for medical workers in the country. In fact, not just when the medical workers, welfare system for every worker in the country. All right. Still on our top stories this beautiful Tuesday morning, we have federal government activates evacuation plan as Middle East crisis worsens. All right, the story has it that the federal government on Monday said it is working out administrative procedures and the release of funds for the evacuation of Nigerians affected by the ongoing crisis in parts of the Middle Eastern region. The decision comes amid escalating tensions in the region triggered by missile and drone attacks linked to Iran, which have raised security concerns across several Gulf nations. This follows coordinated military strikes by the United States and Israel against Iran on February 28. The spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimebi Ebenfa, told correspondents that arrangements for evacuation were ongoing. According to him, he said the government is working out the necessary administrative details and the release of funds to commence evacuation, that he said. And then the update follows earlier concerns over the safety of Nigerians stranded in countries including Iran, Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and Qatar, among others, after regional hostilities disrupted flights and travel plans. Right. Last week, the ministry told newsmen that its immediate priority was Nigerians in the most vulnerable areas, particularly those in Iran and Israel, where the security situation has made evacuation more complicated. Quite an unfortunate development there. All right, still moving on. Remember, this is the Good Morning Cause it's right here on 106.9 FM Going Radio. You can watch us live on YouTube at GOU Radio 106.9 FM and on Facebook at 106.9 Go Uni Radio. And of course, right about now is our top stories for today, Tuesday, the 17th of March 2026. All right, so moving forward on our top stories, we have Oyedele vows tax reforms implementation after swearing in. All right, the newly sworn in Minister of State for Finance, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, on Monday pledged to ensure Nigeria's tax reforms move from policy formulation to diligent execution, warning that reforms are only as good as the paper on which they are written. Oyedele made the commitment on Monday shortly after President Bola Tinubu administered the oath of office to him at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Speaking to State House correspondents after the ceremony, which took place at approximately 2:30 p.m., Oyedele identified revenue mobilization, spending efficiency, debt management, and fiscal sustainability as his immediate priorities. Reforms are only as good as the paper on which they are written. What is really important is the diligent execution, and this is part of it to move from policy formulation to execution. So we are very excited and looking forward to the challenges ahead, the new minister stated. All right, he disclosed that his focus would be on generating sufficient revenue to meet increasing public demands on the treasury at both federal and subnational levels. Oyedele explained the priorities are mostly around revenue mobilization, so you can have enough revenue to meet the increasing demand of the public on the treasury. And then there is also the issue around spending efficiency and priority, because for every 1 naira that we earn, how can we optimize the value we get from it to meet the needs of our people? Responding to questions on how he intends to avoid disappointing the president and Nigerians, Oyedele said, "One thing I can promise Mr. President and the Nigerian people is that I will give my best at every point in time." All right. Of course, Nigerians will be looking forward to see you give your best. Meanwhile, congratulations for your new appointment. All right. Moving forward on our stories this morning, we have Tinubu promises tariff relief for media companies. All right, the story has it that the president, Bola Tinubu, has promised to review tariffs imposed on newsprint, broadcast equipment, and other materials used by media organizations as part of efforts to ease the financial burden in the Nigerian media industry. The president also promised support for the Nigerian media to challenge what they described as big tech dominance and anti-competitive activities in the media space. The president made the commitment at the weekend while receiving a delegation of the Nigerian Press Organization led by its president and publisher of The Guardian, Lady Maiden Alex Ibro. According to a press statement released on Sunday and signed by the Chief Executive Officer of the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, Mr. Segun Adediran, the president on Friday had an interfaith dinner with the MPO delegation at the State House with notable industry leaders present, including veteran journalist and grand patron of MPAN, and that is Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Osoba, publisher of Vanguard newspapers, Mr. Sam Amuka, chairman of the This Day Arise News Channel, Mr. Nduka Obiabena, and chairman of Channels Television, Dr. John Momo, as well as the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Alhaji Saliu Abdulhamid Dembos. Also at the dinner, we have veteran journalists and other presidents of MPAN, Mr. Ray Ebu, president of the Nigerian Guild of Editors, Mr. Eze Anaba, the chairman of Punch Nigeria Limited, Angela Emua, managing director, editor-in-chief, Mr. Joseph Adeyeye, MD of This Day, Eniola Bello, MD EIC of Nation, Mr. Victor Ifije, and executive director of The Guardian, Toke Ibru, among other managing directors. Others at the dinner were the president of the Guild of Corporate Online Publishers, Mr. Danlami Modu, and president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Comrade Al Hassan Yahya Abdullahi, among others. All right. The president actually made a lot of commitments in that meeting. The president said, "You have the government's full support because we know how important your work is to the sustenance of democracy." Of course, it will be a huge relief for media owners in the country, going by the increasing tariff and getting necessary things you need for your production in the country. All right, moving forward on our stories, petrol diesel vessels arrive Nigeria amid price surge. All right, the story has it that As Nigerians contend with rising petrol prices, vessels carrying 129,000 metric tons of premium motor spirits, petrol, and automotive gas oil, that's diesel, are expected to dock at Lagos ports between March 14 and 17, 2026. This came as officials of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority explained why some impressed by the agency's position that no petrol import license had been issued this year. According to the Nigerian Ports Authority, shipping position daily obtained on Monday, a vessel Mosumola carrying 20,000 metric tons of PMS arrived at Lagos ports via the bulk oil plant on Sunday, March 14, 2026. Another vessel, Cope, with 22,000 MT, that's metric tons of AGO, that's diesel, docked at Kirikiri Lighter Terminal Phase 2, Tinkan Island Port on the same day. While speaking further on Tuesday, March 17, Bora is scheduled to arrive at Kirikiri Lighter Terminal 3B with 27,000 metric tons of PMS petrol, while Ashabia will bring 30,000 metric tons of AGO diesel to the same terminal. Additionally, Oluwajuwonlo offloaded 15,000 metric tons of PMS at Calabar Port through Ecomarine Nigeria Limited on Sunday, March 15, and Mosumola will also deliver 15,000 metric tons of PMS to Calabar Port via a Northwest Petroleum Gas Company Limited terminal on March 17. The vessel arrivals coincide with ongoing fuel price hikes nationwide. Nigerians currently face surging petrol costs after Dangote Petroleum Refinery raised its gantry price for PMS to 1,175 naira per litre, pushing retail prices above 1,200 naira per litre. The increase has affected transport fares and driven up the cost of goods and services nationwide. All right, moving forward on our top stories for today, we have the next story. Bomb explosions hit Maiduguri after security forces repel insurgent attacks. All right, the story has it that an unsuspected number of persons were feared killed, while many others sustained injuries following bomb explosions around Monday Market in Maiduguri, Borno State, and a security post at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital on Monday. All right. Newsmen gathered that the bombs detonated simultaneously at about 7 p.m. hours after suspected Boko Haram terrorists launched simultaneous attacks on 3 military positions across the state. Confirming the Monday evening bomb explosion, head of operations of the Federal Fire Service in Borno State, Mohammed Kafarani, said the agency had deployed its personnel to the scene. He said, yes, there was a bomb explosion at the Monday Market area around Kanemi. We have deployed our team there to assess the situation. We will get back to you shortly. That's according to him. So eyewitnesses told newsmen that many of the injured victims had been evacuated to hospitals for treatment. And that is quite an unfortunate development. And then the last story for today, before we wrap it up this Tuesday morning on Good Morning Core City, we have one on sports, which is quite a good development following his good performance. What I regard as a good performance. We have Eric Chile. NFF may offer Super Eagles coach Eric Chile $100,000 salary. All right, this story has it that the Nigerian Football Federation is set to offer Super Eagles head coach Eric Chile a monthly salary of $100,000 following ongoing contract negotiations with Franco-Malian tactician. Fresh details about the discussions were discussed to correspondents of the Punch newspaper by a highly placed source within the federation who said the football body was prepared to review Chile's existing contract and accept some of the conditions he had proposed. However, the source insisted that the federation cannot go beyond the $100,000 monthly ceiling for the Malian coach. Chile currently earns $50,000 per month, but has requested a new contract worth $130,000 monthly, a figure he said would also cover the salaries of members of his technical staff. We are open to reviewing Eric Chile's current contract and willing to meet some of the terms he has proposed, the source said. The federal government and the NFF want continuity If he lowers his demand, we want him to stay, but we are not prepared to offer more than $100,000 per month. The source also revealed that if Chile insists on the higher salary figure, the federation could begin searching for another foreign coach to take charge of the national team. According to the source, the possibility of appointing a local coach has already been ruled out should negotiations with the current manager collapse. Even if Chile declines the proposed terms, the NFF is not considering appointing a local coach and would instead look abroad for a replacement, the source added. Meanwhile, Chile is expected to announce his squad for Nigeria's upcoming international friendlies during the next FIFA window. All right, and of course, we do hope that there's a common ground of compromise between the two parties. Chile is demanding $130,000. NFF is about to offer $100,000. Of course, they will have to meet at a place, to meet at the middle ground to agree. All right, that's the much we can take on our top stories this beautiful Tuesday morning. Remember, you can always go online, go on Facebook and on YouTube at GOU Radio 1069 FM, and on Facebook at 1069 Going in the Radio, and we are live at the moment. Drop your comment and react to our top stories. We want to know what you think, and we want to see hear you out, because it's a platform where we share our ideas, and of course when we come every morning we find ways of analyzing it. Thank you so much for everyone commenting. Thank you so much for everyone watching live, and thank you so much for everyone who has been consistent in following us. All right, this is where I'm going to be wrapping it up this beautiful Tuesday morning. Go out there, internalize what you heard earlier on. You have it all in you to make it count. Make your day count, and understand that you can win. You're already a winner. All right, my name still remains Chike, and this is still Good Morning Core City. Until I see you same time tomorrow. Bye bye, and go out there, crush it.